The HAICPA is going to launch the questionnaire on anti-money laundering and counter-terrorist financing compliance in November 2020. This webcast will provide you with some information about the AML questionnaire. First of all, I will introduce why the Institute launches the AML questionnaire. The Institute announced in an alert to all members and practice units in June 2020 that it has plans to enhance risk-based supervision of accounting professionals concerning AML and CTF compliance to address the requirements in the Anti-Money Laundering and Counter-Terrorist Financing Ordinance and Financial Action Task Force recommendations in its Mutual Evaluation Report on Hong Kong. Money laundering and terrorist financing risk assessments will be the starting point of the enhanced risk-based supervision. Through the AML questionnaire, the Institute will collect sufficient and relevant information for it to perform institutional money laundering and terrorist financing risk assessment to determine the nature, timing, and extent of supervisory actions. The information collected will be kept in strict confidence and will be used by the Institute solely for the purpose of discharging its regulatory responsibilities in relation to AML and CTF compliance by accounting professionals. The AML questionnaire is a profession-wide questionnaire and will request all members and practice units to participate. All non-practicing CPAs, practicing CPAs, CPA firms, and corporate practices, which are collectively referred to as reporting units, will be requested to complete the AML questionnaire. The extent of information required to be provided by each reporting unit varies. Although all reporting units will need to complete the AML questionnaire, not all of them will be required to answer all questions in the questionnaire. The questions that a reporting unit needs to answer would expand based on, first, whether the reporting unit provided professional services by way of business to clients. Second, whether the professional services provided by the reporting unit involved transactions as specified in paragraphs 600.2.1 and 600.2.2 of the Institute's AML guidelines, that is, specified transactions. And third, whether the reporting unit applied good practices according to section 600.2 of the AML guidelines. Some reporting units, for example, professional accountants in business, might complete the AML questionnaire after answering 2 questions to confirm their status. The AML questionnaire is designed in a way that facilitates the completion by a reporting unit in a relatively easy way. Answers to most of the questions will be in the form of yes-no options, multiple choices of predefined answers, or choosing among predefined bandings. We'll make a PDF version of the AML questionnaire available so that reporting units can prepare their responses before completing the AML questionnaire online. All reporting units should answer Part A, which covers general questions asking whether a reporting unit provided any professional services by way of business in the covering period, and if not, the reasons. If a reporting unit did not provide any professional services by way of business in the covering period, the reporting unit is not required to answer the remaining parts of the AML questionnaire, and the AML questionnaire will end here. In general, professional accountants in business will not be required to provide further information beyond this part. Part B is applicable to those reporting units who provided professional services by way of business in the covering period. It covers questions relating to business information of a reporting unit, including number of staff, number of clients, types of professional services provided, whether the reporting unit prepared for or carried out for clients any specified transactions, and whether the reporting unit applied good practices in non-specified transactions. Reporting units whose work involves specified transactions or that apply good practices are required to answer Part C. Part C collects information in respect of, first, the reporting unit's money laundering and terrorist financing risk exposure, in particular risks relating to service, client, geographical location, and delivery channel, and second, the AML CTF procedures and controls of the reporting unit. If a reporting unit did not carry out or prepare for clients any specified transactions and did not apply good practices in non-specified transactions in the covering period, it is not required to answer Part C of the AML questionnaire. Part D is applicable to those reporting units who provided professional services by way of business in the covering period. There are questions about a reporting unit's policies and procedures in relation to suspicious transactions reporting, financial sanctions and terrorist financing, and AML and CTF training. The AML questionnaire will be open for completion from 6th of November 2020 to 28th of December 2020. You will be able to access the questionnaire using your login ID and password. Hong Kong Network and Professional Service Entity includes two types of entities. Firstly, network firms of practice units located in Hong Kong, and secondly, professional service entities whose owners, shareholders, and partners are all CPAs and or practice units. If reporting units have Hong Kong Network and Professional Service entities that have provided professional services to clients during the covering period, they are requested to provide related basic information in the AML questionnaire to enable the Institute to identify and assess the extent of these entities, including number of Hong Kong Network and Professional Service entities, and name, entity type, and relevant regulator, if any, of each Hong Kong Network and Professional Service entity. We will provide more information on the AML questionnaire in due course. Please stay tuned to the AML questionnaire designated page in our website.